आई नो हमारे माशरे में कुछ एक अजीब सा वो है सिलसिला कि हम बहुत ज़्यादा फिज़िकल अफेक्शन शो नहीं करते. And it's not healthy, especially for children when they're growing up, when they don't receive a lot of physical touch from the parents. There's a certain part of the brain that never actually develops properly. Okay, we all love talking about love. And yet, most of us don't know what love is or how to express love. आज मैं बात करना चाहती हूँ the 5 love languages, and we will go into much more detail in an upcoming seminar in Lahore that I hope I'll get to see you at. So what are the 5 love languages and why do we even need to know them? We need to know them because जिस तरह से हमारे दिमाग सब के अल्लाह ताला ने बहुत अमेजिंग, हम में से हर एक शख्स को बहुत ही अमेजिंग बनाया है. हर एक की अपनी अपनी पर्सनैलिटी है, डिफरेंट गिफ्ट्स हैं हमारे. इसी तरह से हमारे ब्रेन्स, डिफरेंट लोगों के ब्रेन डिफरेंट तरीके से इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रोसेस करते हैं. व्हेन इट कम्स टू लव, sometimes because of the way our brain is made, sometimes because of the way we are raised. हमारा जो cultural, environmental जो influence होता है, उसकी वजह से all of us have these particular love languages, which is basically like जिस तरह अगर मैं आपके साथ उर्दू ज़ुबान में बात कर रही हूँ और फ़र्ज़ करें आपको फ़्रेंच बिल्कुल नहीं आती, लेकिन मैं आपको फ़्रेंच में बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें कहूँ. आई टेल यू हाउ मच आई लव यू, हाउ मच आई अप्रिशिएट यू एंड आई वैल्यू यू सो मच, बट आई एम सेइंग दैट ऑल ऑफ दैट इन फ्रेंच. और आपको फ्रेंच समझ में ही नहीं आती, मैं दिन भर बोलती रहूँ वो बातें, आपको नहीं समझ में आएगी, राइट? सो सिमिलरली ये जो हमारी लव लैंग्वेजेस हैं, ये मैंने देखा है कि रिलेशनशिप्स में बिटवीन कपल्स it makes a really big difference when people understand each other's love language, and especially also when it comes to children. If parents understand the love language of the child, they can communicate with the child in a manner where the child feels loved and appreciated. It is extremely important कि हम अपने बच्चों को जब रेज़ करें, और ख़ास तौर पे उनके जो formative years हैं, उसमें उनको they must feel loved, appreciated, special, accepted, all of those things by their parents, because that is going to help them to become a healthy, strong adult with a lot of confidence and high self-esteem. So let's talk about what those different love languages are. I will go over each of these briefly, and then in detail we will go over them when we see you in the seminar. So the first love language is words of appreciation या words of affirmation. So ये वो लोग होते हैं जो सुनना पसंद करते हैं. They want to be told that they are loved. They want to be told that they are appreciated. Interestingly, जब आप बाकी ये सुनेंगे love languages का, and you will begin to connect the dots के, oh, no wonder my wife doesn't feel loved although I show her so much that I love her. Or if you're a wife, you might think, wow, no wonder my husband feels underappreciated although I constantly show him that he's very appreciated, right? So sit down and write down the ones that mean something to you. Is it that you like to feel appreciated verbally? अब ऐसे लोगों के लिए, for example, आप उनको बैठ के verbally भी कह सकते हैं, या फिर उनको you can send them short, sweet notes like text messages, emails, whatever. These people like words of affirmation and appreciation, and that's how they feel loved. The second love language is acts of service. और इसमें क्या है कि कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो वर्बली एक्सप्रेस करना नहीं जानते, या वो अनकंफर्टेबल होते हैं, या ये उनको मैटर ही नहीं करता. दे लाइक टू डू थिंग्स फॉर अदर पीपल दैट दे लव और दैट दे केयर अबाउट. छोटी छोटी चीज़ें. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अ वाइफ माइट want to cook the foods that her husband really likes, and she loves cooking those for him because that's how she shows her love. The husband might show his love for his wife by making sure that, you know, her needs are taken care of. For example, I was talking to someone and she was saying, I never feel loved by him, he never shows me he loves me, and he just looked at her and he said, but have you ever noticed that in 20 years of marriage you have never had to fill up your gas tank? और वो गाड़ी का जो गैस टैंक है. And she just looked at him and she goes, what's that got to do with love? And I started laughing and I said, it has everything to do with love. This is how he is showing you his love. He's taking care of a need that you have, कि आपको जाके गाड़ी, क्योंकि बाहर के मुल्क में, अमेरिका में गैस भरवाना पड़ता है, बड़ी कोफ्त होती है, आपको रुक के खुद ही गैस भरवानी पड़ती है गाड़ी में. So he was showing her love and care by making sure she never had to do it. Her tank was always full. So understand that these small services, they may not mean anything to you कि हाँ so what, he does that. But these are very important to notice because in his language, he is telling her, I love you. Right? अब अगर ये दोनों एक दूसरे की ज़ुबान समझ जाएं, तो they can express their love in their own language and they can express their love in the language that the other person also understands. The third love language is quality time. There are certain people who you can tell them that you love them, you can do acts of service, and that's not their love language. They feel loved and appreciated when someone spends time with them, especially someone that they care about, someone that they love. So the way they show love is by wanting to spend more and more time with them, especially quality time, doing things together. Because the way they show love is, look, I love you so much that I want to be around you all the time. And if the other person is kind of evasive, they don't like to, spend too much time, alone time with them, they will feel very unloved and unappreciated. Many couples that have come to me, this has been also one of the key problem areas, because typically men don't want to spend too much time, one-on-one time. I'm saying typically, it's not true for everybody, but in some cases, generally, most of the time, it's men who don't want to spend too much quality time, and women do. And it is so interesting that they love each other, but just by this little disconnect, the wife is feeling very unappreciated, unloved, and depressed, and they don't know how to help each other. So little bit of correction, because if let's say your partner is someone who feels suffocated, it feels like a very needy behavior for them. But once they understand this is how my partner feels loved, then you can set aside some time that is just for the two of you, right? Just for the two of you, and you spend quality time doing something that the other partner values. So उस टाइम में आपने स्क्रीन टाइम बंद कर देना है, फ़ोन पे बार बार इधर उधर के मैसेजेस नहीं देखने. ये नहीं है कि आप फिजिकली वहाँ पे प्रेजेंट हैं लेकिन इमोशनली और मेंटली आप कहीं और हैं. That's not quality time. So you can do that with your children also. You can do this with your friends also once you understand their love language. Number 4, interestingly, is gifts. I am zero in this, by the way. This is something that this is a language I don't understand. Typically, हम लोगों में से किसी की एक primary love language होगी और फिर secondary होती हैं, right? So for me, words of appreciation is my primary love language, and then I have a little bit of couple of others. Gifting is not one of them, unfortunately. I do like to give gifts, but this is not how I show love, and this is not how I feel loved and appreciated either. I appreciate when somebody gives me a gift. I'm thankful to them. लेकिन इससे मुझे कोई बहुत ज़्यादा that feeling of feeling so secure, like oh, this person loves me so much, that doesn't happen for me. For example, my daughter, her love language is gifting. And when it comes to gifts, these people it's not just about what kind of gift they're giving. It's not about how expensive the gift is. These people will actually put in a lot of thought into giving the gift. So they know you, and then based on what you value and what you like or what you might need in your life, they will give you a gift based on that. They will put in a lot of thought. They may make the gift themselves. And this is very important to understand. If that's their love language, then by giving that gift and the amount of thought that they are putting into it is actually their way of saying, I love you, I care about you. And if it's not your language, then you have to learn to then, reciprocate, so that in their language they also feel loved and valued, and you appreciate. You can verbalize it that, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This makes me feel so loved and appreciated. Thank you. And that will make them feel validated as well. 5th one is physical touch. I think this is probably true for all of us, that when we love someone, we like to feel their touch. Human touch has a lot of healthy benefits. There is a lot of scientific research that has been done how it can actually reduce depression. Hugging each other creates oxytocin, which is a very feel-good chemical in our body. It's healthy for us. It has a lot of health benefits to touch, to hug each other. बच्चों के लिए ख़ास तौर पे आई नो हमारे माशरे में एक अजीब सा वो है सिलसिला कि हम बहुत ज़्यादा फिज़िकल अफेक्शन शो नहीं करते. And it's not healthy, especially for children when they're growing up, when they don't receive a lot of physical touch from the parents. There's a certain part of the brain that never actually develops properly. I can tell you from my personal experience, when I was in Dallas, वहाँ पे neonatal जो care है, जिसमें न्यूबॉर्न बेबीज़ होते हैं, कुछ प्रीमेच्योर्स, कुछ की बर्थ के ऊपर कुछ डिफेक्ट्स होते हैं, सो दे आर इन द नियोनेटल, कभी इंटेंसिव केयर यूनिट में या कुछ. तो उन बेबीज़ के जो पेरेंट्स होते हैं वो कई दफ़ा, if they are from towns that are further away and they had to bring the child to a special hospital, तो वो अपनी 2 हफ्ते की छुट्टी के बाद they have to go back to work, and those babies would be left alone in those nurseries. तो in hospitals में ये programs थे कि you can, as a volunteer, you can go and you can hold the babies. So you can just sit there, you don't have to do anything, you just hold the baby in your lap for an hour, 2 hours, hour at a time, because scientifically they knew that babies that were held by humans for a longer period of time actually developed quicker, and they were able to get out of their, whatever the condition was, they were able to recover from that quicker than other babies that were not held. So that proves to you that even if it's not your love language, physical touch is very, very important, and that should be a love language that we all should have anyway. So these were the 5 love languages. I hope that it really helps to improve your relationship. Again, with whoever you want to improve, what I would suggest is sit down and make a list of which love languages do you feel are most important to you personally. Ask your family members this question. Try to figure out how do they feel loved and appreciated. If you're a mother, for example, and you want to find out how each of your children feel, what love language do they speak, and they could all have a very different one, by the way. We're all different. So you can just ask them, "Ke beta, when do you feel most loved? Is it when I appreciate you verbally or say words of appreciation to you? Is it when I do something for you? Is it, figure it out, and you might be surprised how different their love language is. And once you understand their love language, maybe you can figure out how to make them feel more loved, right? If they say it's acts of service, then you can say, okay, what can I do for you on a regular basis maybe, or once in a while, that will make you feel more loved and appreciated. It is a basis of really creating healthy, wholesome relationships. Hope this helps.